Hey guys, tonight we are going to explore a tower, not just any tower, but one that remembers secrets, maybe even yours. Imagine, the air is thick with the scent of damp stone and ancient magic, a raven circles overhead, and a chill wind whispers through the crumbling battlements. You are not entirely sure why you are here, only that something, a pull perhaps, has brought you to this forgotten place. Chances are pretty good that whatever secrets this tower holds, they're not going to be revealed without a bit of a struggle, and you probably won't survive this unscathed. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Let me know where you're listening from and what time it is where you are. Always curious to know. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You trudge through the overgrown fields, the last rays of sunlight painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. The tower looms before you, a stark silhouette against the fading light. It's taller than you imagined, its stonework weathered and scarred by centuries of wind and rain. Ivy climbs its walls, clinging like desperate fingers, and the air around it hums with an almost palpable energy. As you get closer, you notice the single entrance, a heavy wooden door, reinforced with iron bands, set deep within a shadowed archway. No welcome mat. The tower seems aware of you. Its very presence exudes an ancient power, a silent watchfulness that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. You reach out, your hand hovering over the cold, rough stone of the wall. It feels strangely familiar, as if you've touched it before, perhaps in a dream or a half-forgotten memory. You tell yourself that it's just the fatigue settling in, but a nagging feeling persists, a sense that this tower holds a piece of you, a secret waiting to be rediscovered. You pull your hand back, suddenly unnerved, and turn your attention to the door. It's locked, of course. What did you expect, an open invitation? This isn't some cheesy roadside attraction. Now, back in the Middle Ages, locking things up was serious business. Forget your flimsy modern padlocks, they relied on intricate mechanisms and hefty bolts. Some locks were so complex that only the locksmith who created them knew how to open them, adding a layer of security that even the most skilled thief would struggle to overcome. In fact, during this period, advancements in metallurgy allowed for stronger, more durable metals to be used in the creation of locks, hinges, and other protective devices, contributing to the security of homes, castles, and treasuries. As you examine the door more closely, you notice a small, almost imperceptible inscription etched into the wood above the handle. It's written in a language you don't immediately recognize, a series of strange symbols that seem to writhe and shift before your eyes. It could be Gaelic, or perhaps a more obscure dialect from the region. Historians still argue about the prevalence and evolution of various languages during that period. The inscription seems to pulse with a faint light, as if the words themselves are alive, guarding the secrets within. Or, and this is just a thought, maybe you are hallucinating. Maybe you shouldn't have eaten those questionable berries back in the field. You squint, trying to decipher the inscription. It's no use, the symbols remain stubbornly cryptic. You run your fingers over them, hoping for a clue, a tactile hint that might unlock their meaning. As you do, a voice echoes from within the tower, a low, resonant rumble that seems to vibrate through the very stones. To enter this place, you must first prove your worth. Answer my riddle, and the door shall open. Fail, and remain forever lost in the twilight. Okay, this is getting serious. No pressure, right? You take a deep breath, trying to calm your racing heart. Riddles were a common pastime in medieval times, a way to test wit and intelligence. Kings and nobles would often challenge their courtiers with complex puzzles, and the ability to solve them was seen as a sign of wisdom and good judgment. It's like the medieval version of a pub quiz, but with potentially deadly consequences. The voice speaks again, the words hanging heavy in the air. I have cities, but no houses, forests, but no trees, and water, but no fish. What am I? You rack your brain, desperately searching for an answer. Cities without houses, forests without trees, it's like a surrealist painting come to life. Think. Think. Is it some kind of metaphor? A trick of language? Or maybe the gatekeeper is just messing with you. You glance around, half expecting to see a wizened old man with a mischievous grin, but there's only the deepening gloom and the silent, watchful tower. You consider the possibilities. Maybe it's a map? Maps of cities, forests, and water, but obviously not the real thing. Or perhaps it's something more abstract, like a dream or a story. You try to focus, to quiet the frantic chatter in your mind. Remember that time you tried to assemble that IKEA bookshelf without instructions? This is worse. Way worse. You can almost feel the gatekeeper's impatience, a growing sense of expectation that weighs on you like a physical burden. But wait. What was that? A glimmer of an idea sparks in your mind. A map. But not just any map. A mental map. A construct of the mind. It's a long shot, but it's the only thing that makes sense. You gather your courage and speak, your voice trembling slightly in the stillness. A map. The tower holds its breath. For a moment, there is only silence, a deafening void that stretches on and on. Then a grinding sound echoes from within, the sound of ancient gears turning and heavy bolts sliding. The door creaks open, revealing a narrow, winding passage that disappears into the darkness. Correct, the voice rumbles. You may enter. But be warned, the tower holds many secrets, and not all of them are pleasant. Well, duh. You didn't think it was going to be a walk in the park, did you? You step across the threshold, leaving the twilight behind and entering the embrace of the tower's shadows. The air inside is cold and damp, and the scent of dust and decay hangs heavy in the air. You can hear the faint drip of water, and the scuttling of unseen creatures in the walls. Charming. This place definitely needs a good airing out and maybe a visit from Marie Kondo. You take another step, and the door slams shut behind you, plunging you into near-total darkness. You fumble for your phone, grateful for its modern convenience. A quick tap, and the flashlight illuminates the passage ahead, revealing a stone staircase that spirals upwards into the unknown. And you thought your apartment had problems. You begin your ascent, the stone steps worn smooth by the passage of countless feet. The air grows colder with each upward step, and the silence becomes more profound, broken only by the echo of your own footsteps and the occasional rustle in the shadows. The walls are lined with tapestries, faded and tattered, depicting scenes of battles, hunts, and courtly life. They're so old, they're probably worth a fortune. If you could get them out of here, that is. As you climb, you can almost hear the whispers of the stones, fragments of forgotten conversations, echoes of past events. The tower seems to be alive, its very structure imbued with memories. This isn't just some pile of rocks, it's a living, breathing entity. During the medieval period, stone was considered a valuable and durable building material, often used to construct castles, cathedrals, and other important structures. The process of quarrying, transporting, and shaping these massive stones was a complex and laborious undertaking, requiring skilled craftsmen and specialized tools. Whole communities could be involved in constructing something this massive. You pause on one of the landings, catching your breath. The tapestries here are different, more personal. One depicts a young woman with long, flowing hair, gazing out of a window. Her eyes are filled with a deep sadness, a longing that seems to reach across the centuries. Another shows a group of men huddled around a table, their faces grim and determined. Are they plotting a rebellion? Negotiating a treaty? Historians still argue about the precise interpretations of many medieval tapestries, their symbolic meanings often obscured by time and cultural shifts. Or maybe they are just playing a very intense game of Dungeons and Dragons. It's hard to say. You touch the tapestry of the young woman, your fingers tracing the outline of her face. You feel a strange connection to her, a sense of shared sorrow. It's as if her emotions are imprinted on the fabric, waiting to be awakened. You shake your head, trying to dispel the feeling. It's just a tapestry, you tell yourself. Just some old cloth. But the image lingers in your mind, her sad eyes following you as you continue your climb. Further up, the whispers become more distinct, more insistent. You can almost make out words, phrases, fragments of sentences. They speak of love, loss, betrayal, and revenge. The tower is a repository of human experience, a storehouse of emotions that have been bottled up for centuries. It's like the world's oldest, creepiest therapy session. You wonder what secrets it holds about you. You hope it doesn't know about that time you accidentally set your hair on fire trying to make s'mores indoors. You round another bend in the staircase, and the air suddenly grows warmer. A faint glow emanates from above, beckoning you upwards. You quicken your pace, eager to escape the oppressive darkness and the unsettling whispers. As you reach the next landing, you find yourself in a large, circular chamber. The walls are lined with bookshelves, and a single ray of sunlight streams through a high, arched window, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. It's a library. Or, more accurately, what's left of one. Many medieval castles and monasteries housed extensive libraries, filled with illuminated manuscripts, theological texts, and works of classical literature. These libraries were often centers of learning and scholarship, attracting scholars and scribes from far and wide. It was like the Google of its day, only with significantly fewer cat videos. You step into the chamber, your eyes scanning the shelves. Most of the books are gone, their spines cracked and faded, their pages crumbling to dust. But a few remain, their leather bindings intact, their titles still legible in faded gold lettering. You reach out and take one from the shelf. It's a heavy tome, bound in dark leather, with the title Liber Secretorum, the Book of Secrets. Intriguing. You open the book carefully, its pages brittle and yellowed with age. The script is elegant and ornate, filled with strange symbols and diagrams. It's written in Latin, of course, because everything sounds more impressive in Latin. You try to decipher the text, but the language is archaic and unfamiliar. You can make out a few words here and there, alchemy, astrology, magic, but the overall meaning remains elusive. As you turn the pages, you notice a small, dried flower pressed between the leaves. It's a rose, its petals faded and brittle, but its fragrance still lingers faintly in the air. You inhale deeply, and a rush of memories floods your mind. You see a young couple walking hand in hand through a garden, laughing and whispering secrets. You see a lone figure kneeling by a grave, weeping in the moonlight. The memories are not your own, but they feel strangely familiar, as if you have lived them in another life. You close the book, your head spinning. The chamber seems to pulse with energy, its walls resonating with the echoes of the past. This is more than just a library, it's a repository of memories, a place where the past comes alive. You run your hand along the spines of the remaining books, feeling the weight of their history, the secrets they hold within. It's like touching the very fabric of time. Suddenly, a voice echoes from the depths of the chamber, a soft, ethereal whisper that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Seek the truth within yourself, it says. The answers you seek are not in these books, but in your own heart. Deep. Very deep. You look around, trying to locate the source of the voice, but there's no one there. Only the books, the shadows, and the lingering scent of roses. You realize that the voice is right. The tower is not just a place of external secrets, it's a mirror reflecting your own inner thoughts and emotions. The memories you experienced were not just random fragments of the past, they were reflections of your own hopes, fears, and desires. The tower is challenging you to confront your own secrets, to explore the hidden depths of your own soul. This is like some next-level introspection. Like you're trapped inside your own brain. During the Middle Ages, the concept of the soul was central to religious and philosophical thought. People believed that the soul was the essence of a person, and that it was immortal and destined for either heaven or hell. The idea of self-reflection and introspection was also important, as people sought to understand their own spiritual nature and their relationship with God. So, basically, what this tower is putting you through would be considered a pretty normal exercise back then. Of course, without the creepy voices and the dust. You put the book back on the shelf and turn your attention to a narrow doorway at the far end of the chamber. It's barely visible in the dim light, but you sense that it leads to something important. You approach the doorway cautiously, your hand resting on the hilt of your imaginary sword. Okay, you don't actually have a sword, but you wish you did. This whole experience would be a lot more dramatic with a sword. You step through the doorway and find yourself in a small, circular room. The walls are lined with shelves, filled with strange vials, jars, and bottles. The air is thick with the scent of herbs, chemicals, and something indefinably otherworldly. This is an alchemist's laboratory. You can tell by the sheer amount of glassware and the general air of organized chaos. Alchemy was a complex and multifaceted discipline that combined elements of chemistry, philosophy, and magic. Medieval alchemists sought to transmute base metals into gold, discover the elixir of life, and unlock the secrets of the universe. Their work was often shrouded in secrecy and symbolism, and their experiments were sometimes dangerous and unpredictable. It's basically the medieval version of mad science. Though, to be fair, some modern science seems pretty mad, too. Remember that crocodile dung sunscreen we talked about? You examine the vials and jars, trying to decipher their contents. Some are filled with brightly colored liquids, others with powders and crystals. One jar contains a collection of dried herbs, their fragrances still potent after centuries. Another holds a viscous, black substance that shimmers in the light. You have no idea what any of this stuff is, but you're pretty sure you wouldn't want to drink it. Medieval medicine was all a little dicey. On a table in the center of the room, you find a collection of alchemical instruments, retorts, alembics, crucibles, and scales. They're made of glass and metal, and they're intricately crafted, like miniature works of art. You pick up a retort, its glass bulb filled with a residue of some unknown substance. You hold it up to the light, examining its shape and texture. It feels strangely familiar, as if you've seen it before, perhaps in a dream or a textbook. As you examine the retort, you notice a small inscription etched into its side. It's written in the same strange language as the inscription on the tower door, but this time, you can almost understand it. The symbols seem to shift and coalesce, forming words in your mind. Solvit coagula, they say. Dissolve and coagulate. It's an alchemical principle, a formula for transformation. Dissolve the old and coagulate the new. It's kind of like spiritual spring cleaning. You realize that the alchemist's laboratory is not just a place of scientific experimentation, it's a symbol of personal transformation. The alchemist sought to transmute base metals into gold, but in doing so, he also sought to transform himself, to purify his own soul. The laboratory is a metaphor for the inner work that we must all do to become our best selves. Or, it's just a really messy room with a lot of cool gadgets. Historians still argue whether alchemy was more about the science or the spirituality. It's probably a little bit of both. Like that juice cleanse you tried last year. You set the retort back on the table and turn your attention to a large, circular chart hanging on the wall. It's a star chart, depicting the constellations and planets as they were known in medieval times. The chart is intricately drawn, with delicate lines and vibrant colors. It's a beautiful and mysterious object, a window into the medieval understanding of the cosmos. Astrology was a popular and influential belief system in the Middle Ages. People believed that the positions of the stars and planets could influence human affairs, and that by studying the heavens, they could predict the future and understand their own destinies. Astrologers were often employed by kings and nobles, advising them on matters of state and personal fortune. Forget your therapist, hire an astrologer. You study the star chart, trying to make sense of its symbols and diagrams. You recognize a few of the constellations, Ursa Major, Orion, and the Pleiades, but most of them are unfamiliar. The planets are represented by their alchemical symbols: the Sun, gold; the Moon, silver; Mercury, quicksilver; Venus, copper; Mars, iron; Jupiter, tin; and Saturn, lead. Each planet is associated with a different aspect of human life: love, war, wisdom, and so on. As you gaze at the chart, you notice a series of numbers and symbols written in the margins. They seem to be a code, a series of clues that unlock the secrets of the heavens. You try to decipher the code, but it's too complex for you to understand. You need some help. You pull out your phone and try to search for information about medieval star charts, but of course, there's no signal. You're on your own. You close your eyes and take a deep breath, trying to clear your mind. You focus on the star chart, letting its images and symbols wash over you. You try to imagine yourself as a medieval astrologer, studying the heavens with a burning desire to understand the mysteries of the universe. You channel your inner Merlin. Suddenly, a flash of insight illuminates your mind. You realize that the code is based on the positions of the planets at a specific point in time. The numbers represent the degrees of longitude and latitude, and the symbols represent the constellations in which the planets were located. By plotting these positions on the star chart, you can unlock the code and reveal its hidden message. You grab a piece of charcoal from the table and begin to plot the positions of the planets on the chart. It's a slow and painstaking process, but you're determined to succeed. As you work, you feel a connection to the medieval astrologer who created the chart, a sense of shared curiosity and wonder. It's like you're collaborating across the centuries. Though, you hope he doesn't ask you about TikTok. After several hours of work, you finally crack the code. The hidden message is a series of coordinates, pointing to a specific location within the tower. You write down the coordinates on a Piece of paper, your heart pounding with excitement. You have no idea what you'll find at that location, but you're eager to find out. Maybe it's the tower's Wi-Fi password. You can only hope. You leave the alchemist's laboratory and return to the library. You consult your coordinates and realize that the location they point to is a hidden chamber behind one of the bookshelves. You run your hand along the spines of the books, searching for a hidden latch or lever. Finally, you find it, a small, almost imperceptible button hidden behind a copy of De Rerum Natura, on the nature of things. Fancy that! You press the button, and a section of the bookshelf swings open, revealing a narrow passage. You step through the passage and find yourself in a small, circular chamber. The walls are lined with shelves, filled with books and scrolls. This is a hidden library, a repository of lost lore and forbidden knowledge. It's like the tower's secret stash of guilty pleasure novels. You run your fingers along the spines of the books, reading their titles. The Necronomicon, the Book of Thoth, the Key of Solomon. These are legendary books of magic and occultism, rumored to contain powerful spells and secrets. You've heard of them before, but you never thought you'd actually see them. It's like stumbling into a bookstore for warlocks. You take one of the books from the shelf. It's bound in human skin, its pages filled with strange symbols and diagrams. You open the book carefully, your heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. The script is dense and complex, written in a language you don't recognize. But as you gaze at the pages, you begin to understand its meaning. The book is a guide to necromancy, the art of communicating with the dead. Yikes! You slam the book shut, your stomach churning. Necromancy was considered a dark and dangerous practice in the Middle Ages, associated with witchcraft and devil worship. People believed that necromancers could raise the dead, control spirits, and perform other evil deeds. It's like the medieval version of a Ouija board, but with significantly more risk of demonic possession. You put the book back on the shelf, your hands trembling. You need a palate cleanser after that. Maybe a nice romance novel, or a cookbook. You turn your attention to another book. This one is bound in silver, its pages filled with astrological charts and diagrams. You open the book and begin to read. The book is a guide to astrology, the art of predicting the future by studying the positions of the stars and planets. You skim through its pages, your eyes catching on familiar symbols and concepts. As you read, you realize that the book is not just a guide to astrology, it's a guide to understanding yourself. The positions of the stars and planets at the time of your birth can reveal your strengths, weaknesses, and potential. It's like a cosmic personality test. You search for your birth date in the book and begin to read your astrological profile. You are surprised by how accurate it is. The book describes your personality traits, your career aspirations, and your romantic tendencies with uncanny precision. It's a little freaky, actually. You close the astrology book and take a deep breath, trying to process what you've just read. The hidden library is not just a repository of forbidden knowledge, it's a mirror, reflecting your own inner self. The books you found here are not just collections of words and symbols, they're keys that unlock the secrets of your own soul. You're starting to think this tower is a bit of a know-it-all. You notice a small, unassuming door at the back of the chamber. It's made of dark wood, and it's adorned with a single, enigmatic symbol, a circle with a dot in the center. You have no idea what the symbol means, but you feel drawn to it, as if it holds the answer to all your questions. You approach the door cautiously, your hand resting on the handle. You hesitate for a moment, wondering what lies on the other side. Are you sure you want to do this? What if it's something really scary, like a room full of spiders or a timeshare presentation? You take a deep breath and turn the handle. The door creaks open, revealing a dimly lit chamber. The air is thick with incense, and the room is filled with soft, flickering candlelight. In the center of the room, you see a figure seated on a raised platform. The figure is draped in a veil, concealing its face and form. This must be the oracle. You can tell by the dramatic lighting and the general air of mystery. Oracles were highly regarded figures in medieval society, believed to possess the ability to communicate with the divine and predict the future. They were often consulted by kings and nobles, seeking guidance on matters of state and personal fortune. It's like the medieval version of consulting a magic 8-ball, but with a lot more ceremony and gravitas. You approach the oracle cautiously, your heart pounding with anticipation. As you get closer, you notice that the platform is surrounded by a circle of stones, each inscribed with a different symbol. The stones seem to vibrate with energy, and the air around them crackles with electricity. It's like you're standing on top of a ley line. You kneel before the oracle, your head bowed in reverence. The oracle remains silent for a moment, as if gathering its thoughts. Then, it speaks, its voice a soft, ethereal whisper that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. You have come seeking answers, the oracle says. But the answers you seek are not mine to give. They lie within you. You must look deep into your own heart to find them. You look up at the oracle, your eyes searching for a sign, a clue. But the oracle's face remains hidden behind the veil, its expression unreadable. You realize that the oracle is not going to give you any easy answers. You must find the answers yourself, through your own introspection and self-discovery. This is like the ultimate test of your emotional intelligence. You ask the oracle a question that has been weighing on your mind for years. The oracle pauses for a moment, as if considering your question carefully. Then, it answers, its voice soft but firm. Its words resonate with you, and you realize that they are true. The oracle's answer is not what you expected, but it is what you needed to hear. You feel a sense of peace and clarity wash over you. You thank the oracle for its guidance, and you rise to your feet. You are ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. You leave the oracle's chamber and return to the hidden library. You feel a sense of renewed purpose and determination. You know that the answers you seek are within you, and you are ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. The tower is not just a place of secrets and mysteries, it's a place of transformation and self-discovery. It's like a medieval self-help retreat. Without the kale smoothies. You notice a narrow staircase leading downwards from the hidden library. You have no idea where it leads, but you feel compelled to follow it. You descend the staircase cautiously, your hand resting on the wall for support. The air grows colder and damper with each step, and the darkness becomes more profound. You're starting to think this tower has a serious damp problem. You reach the bottom of the staircase and find yourself in a long, narrow corridor. The walls are lined with mirrors, each reflecting your image back at you. But the reflections are not quite right. They're distorted, exaggerated, and sometimes even terrifying. You've entered a hall of mirrors, but not the fun kind you find at the carnival. You walk down the corridor, your eyes darting from mirror to mirror. Each reflection seems to reveal a different aspect of your personality, your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, and your desires. Some of the reflections are flattering, showing you as a confident and capable individual. Others are unflattering, revealing your insecurities and your flaws. It's like looking at your unfiltered social media feed. As you walk further down the corridor, the reflections become more and more disturbing. You see yourself as an old, withered hag, a bloodthirsty warrior, a tormented soul. These are not just reflections of your personality, they're reflections of your deepest fears and anxieties. The tower is challenging you to confront your own demons, to face the aspects of yourself that you try to hide from the world. Great! Just what you needed. A confrontation with your inner critic. You pause in front of one of the mirrors, your eyes fixed on your reflection. The reflection is that of a young child, lost and alone, with tears streaming down its face. You recognize the child as yourself, from a time when you felt vulnerable and abandoned. The memory is painful, but you can't look away. You realize that this is one of the core wounds that you've been carrying with you for years. You reach out and touch the mirror, your fingers tracing the outline of the child's face. You feel a surge of compassion for the child, a desire to comfort and protect it. You realize that you need to heal this wound, to forgive yourself for the mistakes you made in the past, and to embrace your own inner child. It's like a therapy session, but with more glass. You close your eyes and take a deep breath, trying to center yourself. You visualize the child in the mirror, and you send it love and forgiveness. You tell it that it is safe, that it is loved, and that it is worthy of happiness. You feel a sense of release, as if a weight has been lifted from your shoulders. You open your eyes, and the reflection in the mirror has changed. The child is still there, but it is smiling now, its eyes filled with hope. You smile back at the child, and you continue your journey down the corridor. You emerge from the Hall of Mirrors, feeling lighter and more confident. You faced your fears and confronted your inner demons, and you've come out stronger as a result. The tower is not just a place of trials and tribulations, it's a place of healing and transformation. It's like a medieval spa, without the cucumber water. You find yourself in a large, open chamber. The chamber is empty, except for a single door at the far end. The door is made of iron, and it's covered in strange symbols and runes. You approach the door cautiously, your hand resting on the hilt of your imaginary sword. Okay, you still don't have a sword, but you're really starting to want one. You try to open the door, but it's locked. You examine the door more closely, searching for a keyhole or a latch. You realize that the door is not locked with a physical key, it's locked with a mental puzzle. The symbols and runes on the door are a code, a series of clues that you must decipher to unlock the door. It's like a medieval escape room. You study the symbols and runes, trying to make sense of their meaning. They seem to be a combination of alchemical symbols, astrological signs, and runic characters. You recognize a few of them, but most are unfamiliar. You realize that you need to draw on all your knowledge and experience to solve this puzzle. It's time to put on your thinking cap. You close your eyes and take a deep breath, trying to clear your mind. You focus on the symbols and runes, letting their energy wash over you. You try to imagine yourself as a medieval scholar, studying these symbols with a burning desire to understand their meaning. You channel your inner Indiana Jones. Suddenly, a flash of insight illuminates your mind. You realize that the symbols and runes represent a series of logical steps, a series of decisions that you must make to unlock the door. Each symbol represents a different choice, and each rune represents a different consequence. You must choose the correct path to open the door. You begin to trace the symbols and runes with your finger, following the logical steps in your mind. It's a slow and painstaking process, but you're determined to succeed. As you work, you feel a sense of clarity and focus. You are able to see the connections between the symbols and runes, and you understand the consequences of each choice. After several hours of work, you finally crack the code. You understand the correct path to unlock the door. You reach out and touch the symbols and runes in the correct sequence, and the door begins to rumble. The iron bolts slide open, and the door swings inwards, revealing a dark and mysterious passage. You've unlocked the door to the labyrinth of the mind. You take a deep breath and step through the door, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. Maybe some snacks? You are getting a little peckish. You step into the labyrinth, and the door slams shut behind you, plunging you into near-total darkness. You fumble for your phone, grateful for its modern convenience. You turn on the flashlight and illuminate the passage ahead, revealing a maze of twisting corridors and dead ends. The walls are made of stone, and they're covered in strange symbols and carvings. The air is thick with the scent of dust and decay. You've entered a mental maze, a place designed to test your sanity and your resolve. You begin to navigate the labyrinth, your senses on high alert. The corridors twist and turn, leading you in circles. You encounter dead ends, false passages, and hidden traps. It's like trying to find your way through a particularly confusing IKEA store. After closing time, as you wander through the labyrinth, you begin to hear voices. They're faint and distant, but they seem to be calling your name. You try to follow the voices, but they lead you deeper and deeper into the maze. You realize that the voices are not real, they're hallucinations, created by the labyrinth to disorient you and lead you astray. The tower is really messing with your head at this point. You try to ignore the voices, but they become more insistent, more seductive. They promise you riches, power, and love. They tell you that you deserve these things, that you've earned them. You know that these promises are false, but they're tempting nonetheless. You realize that the labyrinth is testing your integrity, challenging you to stay true to your values and your goals. It's like being bombarded with targeted ads, but for your soul. You encounter other obstacles in the labyrinth. You find yourself facing your fears, your insecurities, and your doubts. You see visions of your past failures, your present struggles, and your future uncertainties. The labyrinth is forcing you to confront your deepest anxieties, to face the things that you've been trying to avoid for years. It's like a crash course in cognitive behavioral therapy. You press on, refusing to give in to the labyrinth's tricks and traps. You use your wits, your intuition, and your determination to find your way through the maze. You learn from your mistakes, and you adapt to the changing conditions. You realize that the labyrinth is not just a test of your sanity, it's a test of your resilience, your ability to overcome adversity. Finally, after what seems like an eternity, you see a light at the end of the tunnel. You quicken your pace, eager to escape the labyrinth and return to the real world. You reach the end of the tunnel and step into a small, circular chamber. The chamber is brightly lit, and it's filled with a sense of peace and tranquility. You've emerged from the labyrinth of the mind, and you found your way back to yourself. It's like finally reaching the end of a really long and difficult meditation session. Now, where's the chamomile tea? You step into the chamber, and you feel a sense of calm and clarity wash over you. You've overcome the challenges of the labyrinth, and you've emerged stronger and more resilient. The tower is not just a place of mental trials, it's a place of mental fortitude and self-discovery. It's like a medieval boot camp for your brain. You notice a staircase leading upwards from the chamber. You have no idea where it leads, but you feel compelled to follow it. You ascend the staircase, your heart filled with anticipation. The air grows thinner and colder with each step, and the light becomes brighter. You're nearing the top of the tower. Finally! Your legs are killing you. You reach the top of the staircase and step out onto a small, circular platform. The platform is surrounded by a low wall, and it offers a panoramic view of the surrounding landscape. You can see for miles in every direction, rolling hills, lush forests, and sparkling rivers. The view is breathtaking. You're standing on top of the world. Well, your world, at least. In the center of the platform, you see a large telescope. It's made of brass and glass, and it's mounted on a sturdy tripod. You recognize it as an astronomical observatory, a place where medieval scholars studied the stars and planets. You can finally put all that astrology knowledge to good use. You approach the telescope and peer through the eyepiece. The view is incredible. You can see the moon in exquisite detail, its craters and mountains sharply defined. You can see the planets, each shining with its own unique light. You can see the stars, twinkling like diamonds in the dark sky. It's like having your own personal planetarium. As you gaze through the telescope, you notice something strange in the sky. It's a comet, streaking across the heavens with a brilliant tail. You've never seen anything like it before. The comet seems to be growing larger and brighter with each passing moment. It's like a cosmic firework display. You realize that you're witnessing a rare astronomical event, a celestial phenomenon that occurs only once every few centuries. The comet is a sign, a portent of change and transformation. It's a reminder that the universe is constantly evolving, and that we are all part of something larger than ourselves. It's like the universe is giving you a wink and a nod. You continue to watch the comet, mesmerized by its beauty and its power. As you watch, you begin to feel a sense of connection to the cosmos. You realize that you are not just a small, insignificant speck on a tiny planet, you are a part of the universe, and the universe is a part of you. It's like you're having a cosmic epiphany. Suddenly, the comet explodes, showering the sky with a cascade of light and color. The explosion is so bright that it momentarily blinds you. You shield your eyes and wait for the light to fade. When you open your eyes, the comet is gone. It has vanished without a trace, leaving only a faint trail of smoke in its wake. You're not sure what the comet's explosion means, but you know that it has changed you in some way. You step away from the telescope, your mind reeling from what you've just witnessed. The comet's explosion has left you feeling shaken and disoriented, but also strangely exhilarated. You feel like you've been given a glimpse into the secrets of the universe, and you're eager to learn more. The tower is not just a place of astronomical observation, it's a place of cosmic awakening and spiritual enlightenment. It's like a medieval Burning Man festival. Minus the questionable fashion choices. You turn your attention to a small, wooden chest sitting in the corner of the platform. It's locked, and it's covered in dust and cobwebs. You have no idea what's inside, but you feel compelled to open it. You search for a key, but you can't find one. You try to pry the chest open, but it's too strong. You realize that the chest is not locked with a physical key, it's locked with a memory. You close your eyes and take a deep breath, trying to access your memories. You focus on the chest, letting its image fill your mind. You try to remember where you've seen it before, what it means to you. You reach back into the depths of your subconscious, searching for the key to unlock the chest. It's like digging through your mental attic. Suddenly, a memory surfaces in your mind. You see yourself as a young child, standing in a dusty attic. You're with your grandmother, and she's showing you a wooden chest just like the one in front of you. Your grandmother tells you that the chest contains a secret, a painful memory that she has kept hidden for many years. She tells you that one day, when you're ready, you can open the chest and confront the memory. But not before. You realize that the chest in front of you is the same chest that your grandmother showed you all those years ago. The chest contains a painful memory from your past, a memory that you have been avoiding for years. The tower is challenging you to confront this memory, to face the pain and the trauma that it represents. You've been putting this off for long enough. Time to rip off the Band-Aid. You take a deep breath and steel yourself for what's to come. You reach out and touch the chest, your fingers tracing the outline of its wooden surface. You feel a surge of emotion, fear, sadness, anger, and regret. You realize that this memory is deeply embedded within you, and that it has been shaping your life in ways that you didn't even realize. You open the chest, and a wave of memories floods your mind. You see yourself in a variety of situations, all related to the painful memory. You see yourself arguing with your parents, failing at school, and struggling with relationships. You see yourself as a victim, a failure, and a disappointment. These memories are painful to relive, but you know that you need to face them, to process them, and to learn from them. You close the chest, your mind reeling from the flood of memories. You've confronted the painful memory from your past, and you've survived. You feel a sense of relief, but also a sense of sadness. You realize that this memory will always be a part of you, but that it doesn't have to define you. You can learn from it, grow from it, and move on with your life. The tower is not just a place of painful memories, it's a place of emotional healing and personal growth. It's like a medieval therapy session, but with better views. As you stand there, processing your emotions, you hear a deep rumbling sound coming from below. The tower begins to shake, and you realize that something is happening. You look around, trying to figure out what's going on. Suddenly, a section of the floor begins to crack, and a large, stone golem emerges from the depths of the tower. Oh, great! Just what you needed. A giant rock monster. The golem is massive, standing at least 10 feet tall. It's made of solid stone, and its eyes glow with an eerie green light. It lumbers towards you, its heavy footsteps shaking the platform. You realize that the golem is the guardian of the tower, and that it has been awakened to protect the tower's secrets. You're guessing it's not happy you've been poking around. You know that you can't defeat the golem with physical force. It's too strong, too durable. You need to use your wits, your knowledge, and your inner strength to overcome this challenge. You remember something you read in one of the books in the hidden library: golems are vulnerable to certain spells and incantations. You just need to remember which ones. You close your eyes and take a deep breath, trying to recall the information. You focus on the book, letting its words and images fill your mind. You remember a specific passage, a spell that is designed to neutralize golems. The spell is complex and difficult to pronounce, but you're determined to try. You begin to chant the spell, your voice trembling at first, but growing stronger with each word. The golem pauses, its glowing eyes fixed on you. It seems to be affected by the spell, but it's not stopping. You continue to chant, pouring all your energy and focus into the incantation. The tower begins to shake even more violently, and you feel a surge of power flowing through you. Finally, you reach the end of the spell. You shout the final word, and a bolt of energy shoots from your hand, striking the golem in the chest. The golem staggers backwards, its stone body cracking and crumbling. It lets out a deafening roar, and then collapses to the ground, its glowing eyes extinguished. You've defeated the guardian of the tower. You breathe a sigh of relief, your body trembling with exhaustion. You stand on the platform, panting and exhausted. The golem is gone, and the tower is silent once more. You've overcome the final obstacle, and you're ready to claim the tower's ultimate secret. You've earned this. You deserve a medal. And a very long nap. You notice a small, circular door in the center of the platform. It's made of silver, and it's adorned with a single, enigmatic symbol, a spiral. You approach the door cautiously, your hand resting on the handle. You have no idea what lies on the other side, but you know that it's important. It's the grand finale. The big reveal. You get the idea. You take a deep breath and turn the handle. The door creaks open, revealing a blinding light. You shield your eyes and step through the door. As your eyes adjust to the light, you see that you are standing in a small, circular chamber. The chamber is empty, except for a single object in the center, a mirror. You approach the mirror, your heart pounding with anticipation. The mirror is made of polished silver, and it reflects your image back at you. But as you gaze into the mirror, you realize that it's not just reflecting your image, it's reflecting your soul. You see your strengths, your weaknesses, your hopes, and your fears. You see the person you are, and the person you could become. You realize that the tower's ultimate secret is not a magical artifact, a hidden treasure, or a lost scroll. The tower's ultimate secret is you. The tower has been challenging you to confront your own inner demons, to face your fears, and to embrace your potential. It's been a journey of self-discovery. The tower has shown you that you are capable of anything you set your mind to. You have the power to overcome any obstacle, to achieve any goal, and to become the person you've always dreamed of being. You just have to believe in yourself. And maybe find a less creepy tower to hang out in. You gaze into the mirror for a long time, absorbing its wisdom and its power. You realize that you don't need the tower anymore. You have everything you need within you. You are the master of your own destiny. You smile at your reflection, and you turn and walk away. You leave the chamber and begin your descent from the tower. The journey downwards is much easier than the journey upwards. You know the way now, and you're no longer afraid. You pass through the library, the alchemist's laboratory, the hall of mirrors, and the labyrinth of the mind. Each place holds a special memory for you, a lesson that you have learned. Finally, you reach the bottom of the tower and step out into the sunlight. The world looks different now. Brighter, clearer, and more beautiful. You are a changed person thanks to your experience in the tower. You are stronger, wiser, and more confident than ever before. You've not only survived the tower, but you've thrived.